Here's the reality for the Sixers. Their season is over. With the Joel Embiid injury, even if he's able to come back at some point later in the year, the season's over. He's going to be out too long for this team to truly be a title contender this current season, this upcoming postseason is what I meant to say. So the Sixers season is done. And now I would at least look ahead to what's their future then. If this year is already put to bed, what is the future of the Sixers looking like? It's bleak right now, unless you trade Joel Embiid. Like, if you're the Sixers this offseason, you got to trade the face of your franchise. You got to trade the process. You have to move off of Embiid and now make Tyrese Maxey your number one guy moving forward, the guy you build your entire team around. Because you have no other choice right now with Embiid. His injuries have given you no other option. Like, at this point, it's the definition of insanity to bring it back with Embiid next year and think it's going to be any different than the years past. He's been hurt every single year. The fewest amount of games he has missed in the regular season is 14. The healthiest, quote unquote. He's been this season, he played only 68 games. This is a guy who gets hurt every single year. Sometimes it's for the season, other times he's able to come back, but it's not just the regular season injuries that are a concern and that are a problem. It's also his play and his condition in the postseason. He's missed postseason games. He's only had one playoff series, or one playoff run, I should say, where he has played in every game. That was just 2020 in the bubble. They were swept by the Celtics in the first round. 4 games and see you later. You're going on vacation. Other than that, every single year Embiid has been in the postseason, he's missed at least one game. So it's not just the regular season injuries that are a concern and that are a pattern. Right now, if you're the Sixers, when it comes to thinking about the future with your big man, it's also the fact that Embiid can't stay healthy in the postseason, is always dealing with something, and that's caused him to miss games. That's part of the reason why the Sixers have not, in the Embiid era, gotten past the second round of the playoffs. And so this happening literally every single year. Every single year has been hurt, and all but one postseason run, he's missed time in the playoffs. How can you think next year is going to be better? How can you truly sell to yourself that next year is going to be different than this year or previous years? It's not going to happen. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality. Embiid can't be trusted to stay healthy. And I don't see the point in having a top 5 player in the league if he's not going to be available. I'd rather have 2 top 20 players on my team than 1 top 5 player. We could make an argument here, he's the best player in the league right now. But I'd rather have 2 top 20 players that are available every single night versus having the best player in the league that misses 40% of games every single year and is always dealing with something in the playoffs. It's frustrating, but they say the old cliche in sports, and it's true. Availability is the best ability. And that has right now been the opposite of Embiid. He has not been available. And with the history of injuries, with all the different injuries he's had, knee, ankle, foot, face, thumb, hand, he's running the gamut. He's basically the patient from Operation. Remember that little board game back in the day? You had the tweezers, and if you hit, like, the side, it buzzes up, and you lose the game when you're trying to reveal take the bones out.
It's him flopping.
Well, yes, he does sprawl out on the court. He falls down a lot. He falls down a lot.
It's historic.
But with all the injuries, right, all the body parts that are being operated on, he is basically dummy's rude. He is the gentleman that is the face of the game operation. That is Joel Embiid. And so if you're the Sixers, like, what else are you going to do? How can you truly sell to yourself and to your fans that you are championship contenders next year and think that Embiid's injury history is just going to go away? It is who he is. Great player, but can't stay healthy. And it's also, It'd be one thing if he was like Kawhi Leonard, where he got hurt in the regular season, missed a lot of time, but come playoff time, he was a killer. That's Kawhi in a nutshell. I think I described him accurately. Misses time, a lot of fans, even the organization, Spurs, get frustrated with how he treats and maybe overcompensates his injuries. And I don't want to say hypes up or exaggerates. It's unfair to say that about Kawhi Leonard, but there's always some sort of mystery, right, around Kawhi's injuries, and we never have an accurate timeline, never know how injured he actually is. So there's drama around Kawhi and his health. But we know come playoff time, Kawhi's got to be a dog out there. He can carry you to a championship the way he did with Toronto in 2019. So at least if you're the Clippers now, but the Spurs to a point and the Raptors in the 1 year they had, you at least could sell yourself, hey, look, I know it's frustrating. The regular season injuries, again, he's not playing. He's sitting out, load management, this and that. You have Kawhi's team basically dictating when he's going to play versus when he's not going to play. But at least we know playoff time, there's going to be no restrictions, and he's going to be the best player on the court. It'd be one thing if that was Embiid, but that's not Embiid. He has not been a very good postseason player. He has been the best player in the league in the regular season. Come playoff time, he's been bad. His play, along with his injuries, are big reasons why the Sixers are always exiting early, I should say, out of the postseason. It's why you can never believe Philly's a real threat. I don't care what the record is. I don't care what their seeding is. You watch the Sixers in the playoffs, you know that they are actually not a true title contender. And that's in part because Embiid is always banged up, but also never plays well. So that's also on top of it. If you're the Sixers, you got the face of your franchise, the superstar, reigning MVP, who is banged up every single year, but then even come playoff time when he's available to play, he still can't get you over the top. He still can't be the best player on the court. So what's the point of keeping him? Why would you want him back in 2024 when it feels inevitable he's going to get hurt? And you already know through a good enough and large enough sample size, he's not a playoff player. He's not a championship player. He can't be the best player on a championship winning team. So why run it back? I think now is the time where you got to cut bait. You get what you can for Embiid and now start building your franchise around Tyrese Maxey. Make him your cornerstone. Make him your future. And get what he needs around him so that you can actually be true title contenders. Not hopefully win a championship, but actually truly believe you can win a championship. There's a major difference between hope and belief. With the Sixers right now with Embiid, it's hope. And with that hope, I think it means, for me at least, ending right now with what has been a hamster wheel of insanity. Of preseason expectations, off to a good start, Embiid injury, then season over. Rinse and repeat. It's time to break the cycle. With today's injury news, I think Philly has only one option this offseason because their season's over for this season at least. For this upcoming offseason, they have one option. It's trading Joel Embiid. It is trading the MVP and arguably the best player in the NBA and starting to build your franchise around Tyrese Maxey. That's what Sunday's injury news, to me, confirmed. That is the plan now moving forward. That is how the Sixers, for the first time ever, or at least first time in this era, truly get to where they want to go in terms of being championship contenders in the East. I think they have to trade Embiid, and I don't really see an argument as to why keeping him is the right answer moving forward.